SuperTalk Mississippi media production.
You're listening to Sports Talk Mississippi On Demand, presented by Pearl River Resort. Escape to Choctaw, Mississippi and enjoy world-class gaming, the Dancing Rabbit Golf Club, and Geyser Falls Water Park. Escape to Pearl River Resort.
Sports Talk Mississippi is on the air. Sports Talk Mississippi is powered by C Spire. Power your home or business with C Spire Fiber. To learn more, visit supertalk.fm/C Spire. C Spire Fiber powers Super Talk Mississippi. To the junction, in the Grove, and to the top. This is Sports Talk Mississippi. On your radio and in the game. Right here on Super Talk Mississippi.
Welcome in on a Thunder and Lightning Wednesday. I'm Michael Borkey. He's Brian Hadad. Sports Talk Mississippi. So glad that you guys are with us. We've got a lot to cover today. Snip, snap in recruiting.
This guy, he's committing to schools like it was free.
And then Ole Miss picks up yet another in-state blue chipper on the line of scrimmage. We'll talk about that. We've got, I think that we can have fun with our top five months. The months of the year, the top 5 months. I think we might, Hadad's going to hate my number one. He's going to hate my number 1 month. He's going to hate it.
It's January Jones.
It is not January.
January Jones.
The actress, right? Isn't it?
Yeah, but she should count.
But that is not.
All right, you got me intrigued. You got me wondering.
I think you're going to hate my number one.
I feel like I got a 1 in 12 chance of picking out what it is, though. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, the odds are in your favor on that. The college football video game continues to release player rankings. As you can imagine, the Ole Miss offense getting some love. Kewan Lacey in particular, but also Trinidad. Also the tight end position, Ole Miss getting some love as well. So we'll talk about that. And also a very interesting thing is going to unfold in the World Cup today. I don't know what time it starts, Hadad. There's a game coming up that a Brazilian psychic with 23 million followers on YouTube. 23 million followers on YouTube. Has said her official prediction is that this World Cup game is when the aliens are going to come and they are going to abduct players on the field and even fans in the stands. That game is the Brazil-Scotland game today. This is when the aliens are going to reveal themselves. So we got a big day coming up.
What if what actually happens is they pan the crowd and Victor Wembanyama is just in attendance? And that's the mix-up. There was an alien there. It was Victor Wembanyama
the whole time.
Yeah, that's.
So yeah, watch that game tonight.
Well,
if you guys are looking for something sports related, there you go. I mean, it's appointment viewing.
I don't know what the odds on that are, but I do know that our friends at Pearl River Resort would be happy to take your money on alien abduction of World Cup superstars if that bet is available at the Sportsbook at Timeout Lounge. But don't worry about all that. Worry about playing a round of golf at Dancing Rabbit. Worry about family fun at Geyser Falls. Worry about an outstanding meal at Philip M's. And then don't worry about anything because you can just relax and have a great time at Pearl River Resort. Book your stay right now at pearlriverresort.com. C Spire text line open to you at 601-879-4395. With C Spire, it's easier than ever to get all the devices you want in one move with the Ultimate Connect bundle. Right now, new and current customers can get a free phone, watch, and tablet, plus 100 gigs of data for just $90. That includes the new iPhone 17 or Samsung Galaxy S26 for free, and a free smartwatch and tablet to go with it. So don't wait. There's more to see. Visit cspire.com or stop by your local C Spire store today. C Spire, inspired by you.
Yes, you.
Yes, you. Not if you're listening, not you. You.
So this is a good question. We have actually yet to talk about the NCAA going ahead and passing the 5 to play 5. That's the new eligibility standard. You got 5 years. No more red shirts, no more nothing. You've got 5 years to play. That's what it is. The waiver system is going to be dramatically reduced, which I've maintained the whole time. them granting waivers got them into this mess in the first place. They should have just never done that. But once they started doing that, then it created the crap storm. But the question is, with this new age eligibility, does this mean Josh Hubbard will be back after this year? He would make more than he ever will in his life. And you're right. There's more money for him to be made in college than at the professional level. We've been over that. We don't need to relitigate that. But my assumption, I don't know for sure, is yes, though, that when this passes, it will apply to current players. They're not going to apply the standard retroactively, so the ninth-year senior at Montana or wherever he is, he's going to get to play still. Obviously, Trinidad Chamberlain's still going to get to play. But moving forward, that standard, I believe, is applied. Therefore, I have not seen anything that, to the contrary, Josh Hubbard would be able to play for 2 more seasons, obviously including this one.
I mean, it seems like that would be the case. So, yeah, if this passes, I think you got a great chance to see a 5th year of Josh Hubbard. Among other players, every school, basketball, football, baseball, doesn't matter. You have some guys that are just great college players, but their pro potential is less. My guess is, think about it like this. What would a 5th year for Mississippi State for Bryce Chance look like? Don't tell me they wouldn't love to have that guy back for another year. Unfortunately, I don't think this rule is going to get passed in time to apply to him. So, yeah. And also from a baseball standpoint, we always talk about you have your leverage year, right? When you're a senior, you don't have any leverage. So when you get drafted, you got to take whatever signing bonus they give you. They give you like $10,000. What can you do? You don't have any other options in there. But now you're a senior. You've got another year. You could go back and see what you can do. So we'll see. It opens up a lot of interesting possibilities.
This is, they're going to get sued over it, and it's already happening. That guy that is very active on Twitter, the Twitter NIL guy, what's his last name? Haitner or something? His law firm is already involved in a suit with a bunch of basketball players that just wrapped up their eligibility looking for another year. And I don't know the legalities of something like this. When you eliminate the waiver process, it makes it easier to defend. Again, whether or not you think Trinidad Chamberlain should be able to play for Ole Miss is not. We don't need to keep debating that. That's a waste of time. What they argued, though, was you are allowing this player over here a waiver, but not me.
Right.
And that doesn't make any sense. You are arbitrarily applying your own rules, giving this player, 3 extra years, but not me 1 extra year.
Right.
If you get rid of all that, and the same standard applies to all players without ambiguity, it feels, I'm not a lawyer, I have talked to enough of them about this, I guess, to be slightly educated. It feels like it's easier to defend when this is the rule. It's 5 to play 5.
Right.
There's no waivers.
This
5
rule
to play 5
applies to everybody. This is a blanket rule. Yes, that makes it easier. And that was been the NCAA's problem. That's how this transfer portal thing started. Was the NCAA was picking and choosing who could be eligible and who could not be eligible based on completely, just depending on the circumstances. This guy's circumstances, sick grandfather, yes. Sick aunt, no. And it was just, that's how it went. And so they opened up the transfer portal. They're like, all right, everybody can do whatever they want. Now at least you get some sort of, a little bit of a grip on things and say, this is what we're doing for eligibility, period. It affects everybody. No one is exempt from it. I think that's something that should hold up in court.
It should be defendable.
Yeah.
And it makes sense. I like it. You don't have to worry about red shirts and only playing guys a certain number of years. You just have 5. That is what it is. And hopefully it sticks because it's the first sensible thing they've done in quite some time. There's, of course, going to be growing pains with the transition.
Of course.
Going from...
Just like anything else.
Just like anything else. But once you get past it, and now that we're basically past the COVID year...
Nobody should have those left at this point. It should be over.
The COVID year was a disaster. My gosh, was that horrible. But they're past that now. And so you're going to have some players basketball players specifically looking for an extra year, but not that many anyway.
Right.
We should be moving forward. All full steam ahead. Whatever cheesy cliche you can come up with, but good, actually. Good.
Works for me.
It's fine with me, too.
It's the first step of many steps that need to be taken to get a handle back on things, and yet at the same time allow for some fairness for the players. All right? Because I think 5 for 5 is very fair to the players. The whole point of college athletics, I know this is going to sound incredibly ridiculous nowadays, but the whole point is about getting a degree. And a 5-year degree sounds about right? Yeah. If you're there for 6 years, well, I'm hoping I'm going to call you a doctor at the end of that. So, yeah, I'm in favor of this, and this is the way things need to move.
Somebody says, can former players come back and play a 5th year? That you have to draw a line somewhere. I think
if you're done, you're done at this point. Yeah.
It'd be like me getting a speeding ticket going 45 in a 35 zone, and then 2 years later they change it to a 45 zone, and I say, hey, take the speeding ticket off my record because no, because at the time
that's not how it works.
That's what the law was.
Right.
So we'll see. I don't know. We're going to pivot here, and just to tighten in the restaurant industry, and more specifically, somebody that has undertaken barbecue here in the great state of Mississippi. I told Hadad about this, and he's excited. I know I'm excited because we're doing this chef series, and we're talking to a fine dining chef that has undertaken barbecue when we come back, and it is awesome. Sports Talk Mississippi, Pearl River Resort Studio.
And back to Sports Talk Mississippi.
It doesn't get any better than this.
On Super Talk Mississippi.
Hey, Dad, I regret to inform you, not being here has caused you to miss out. Now, not what you're thinking.
Oh no!
Even better though. What
do you got there?
I've got lids right here.
Oh, okay. A lid.
No, not one.
No, not two.
Two.
Three. 4.
4. 5. From our guests on the Farm Bureau guest line, check out favorites.com and go with the home team Mississippi Farm Bureau. A restaurateur here in the capital city, and a rather famous one. I don't mean to toot your horn there, but that is what you are, a titan in the industry in our capital city. Derek Emerson, you kind of have your hand in everything. You've got like high level fine dining, you've got comfort food, but
barbecue, tacos.
Yeah, we're not worried about anything but the barbecue. We're just this is about to be all barbecue all the time.
I'm down.
Let's start there, though. So as we were talking before the show started, you were involved with Walkers. You got a lot of name drops last week about Walkers. But you're like a fine dining chef, and that's what you do.
Did fine dining 32 years, I guess. Started at worked at Bravo back in the day, brick oven a long time ago. Moved to Atlanta, did a bunch of fine dining there. Came back, opened Schimmel's in '99. And then bought Walkers in 2001. We actually closed our deal on Walkers on 9/11.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 2001. We were closed that day.
The pivot to, not pivot necessarily, the addition of barbecue is really what I want to start with. Sacred Ground. Sacred
Ground Barbecue in Pocahontas. The name is across the street from the Indian Mounds. That's where the Sacred Ground came from. And I'd been out in Texas with my daughter and ate at a bunch of barbecue places and decided that we needed that in Mississippi.
We did. We
desperately.
Yes. So the thing with barbecue to me is, like, it's not just knowing a recipe, right? Like, a lot of dishes, pastas and things like that. If you give me the recipe, almost anybody can make it.
Correct.
But barbecue is almost a science in the way you do it. What was your process to learn how to become a master barbecuer?
Well, throwing a lot away. I probably threw away 1,000 pounds of brisket.
You should have called. I could have been there to help you.
No,
1,000 pounds of brisket. Now I feel so much better about never getting one right.
Yeah, it's probably the hard. I thought I was going to get into something that was going to be super easy. I could just kind of do it as a retirement, and it actually is the hardest thing to cook I've ever cooked in 35 years. So it's you have 16 hours to mess it up. And the weather changes, the wood changes, and the meat changes. And it's, but it's the most challenging, the most fun I've had cooking in a long time.
When you look at the menu over at Sacred Ground, it's incredibly diverse. You know, there's beef, there's pork, but it's not just pulled pork. There's pork belly, there's ribs, there's sausage. You know,
Yep.
we had Guillermo on yesterday from the bakery.
Oh, yeah.
And he talks about 3 a.m. mornings. It's kind of the same thing in the barbecue world, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I go 5 a.m. Wednesday through Sunday. Mm-hmm. So we cook fresh every day. We start the briskets one day to finish them the next day, basically. And then, I just wanted to do – I didn't feel that there's a lot of people that do pig really well in Mississippi. I don't know that there's a lot of people that do really well with the beef portion of barbecue in Mississippi. And I just really enjoyed I ate a lot of it in Texas, and I was like, I can learn that. And my wife thought I was completely crazy, and but she believed in me, and this is where we are now.
You'd think after all the successful restaurants you'd opened up, your wife would have been like, yeah, we're good. You know what you're doing.
Yeah. Well, but when you jump into a completely different thing that's like there's no saute pans, it's not oven roasting. You can't just turn the knob to make it hot or turn it down to make it low. You got to be able to control the firebox. We're cooking on a 1,000-gallon offset, so it's all fire-driven, and we have a 10-inch stack on it, so we close it down in the mornings to get more smoke on it, open it up in the afternoon to let it cook. And it's we don't change a lot with it every day. If we ever do make a change, it's only one item, and that way you know exactly if that change made it better or worse.
So you mentioned that Texas was kind of the inspiration behind this. As we were talking earlier, there's so many different sauces and styles. You've got Kansas City, you've got Memphis, you've got the Carolinas, you've obviously got Texas.
Yeah.
There's so many differences. What makes Texas better than the other ones? Why did you ultimately choose that? Have you tried maybe considering incorporating some of the other regions of the country into what you do?
We do. We do a Carolina version of a slaw, which is a lighter version. When I went to Texas, I tasted things that I had never tasted, and I was like, when it comes to the brisket, when it comes to the beef rib, or the tri-tip was something that I brought. I was born and raised in California. That's a huge thing out there. I just liked something different. Like I said, I feel like a lot of people in Mississippi do pork really, really well. And I just wanted to focus on a different portion of the barbecue and kind of bring something to the state, not just take from what other people were doing.
I'm going to ask, tri-tip like a brisket or tri-tip like a steak?
I smoke it for about an hour, maybe two, and I like it. It's a quick cook, but it's we use prime tri-tip as well. It's probably one of my favorites. That and the turkey are two of the things I like the most.
This is a man who knows what he's talking about. All right, so because it's like an unwritten rule in barbecue. Like if you go to a place and the turkey's bad, get out. Like turkey is the thing that a place is good based on the fact that if their turkey is good. And tri-tip is, I wish you could get it around Mississippi more.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's difficult. When I find one in the grocery store, it's like an auto buy.
It is.
Oh, we got it.
Yeah, like I said, we're using USDA Prime too, so it's got a lot of fat on it. It's got a little fat cap on it, the one that we use, and I really like the way it eats. It kind of eats like a steak, but has the smoked version of like a brisket, not necessarily of a brisket, but it has a nice smoke flavor to it. And it's you don't have to get up at 5 a.m. to cook it.
You mentioned the coleslaw that you do with the North Carolina vinegar base as opposed to mayo. With your background being an elite level fine dining chef, I've been to barbecue places. There's one where I grew up in South Carolina where the meat's fantastic. The sides are horrendous, and it almost ruins the experience because the sides are so bad. How much emphasis do you put on your menu of things that complement the
I think it's important. I think you're going there for a whole experience, not just eat smoked meat. Like I was saying outside, if you get something that's super heavy that's going with barbecue, it's just going to crush you. But you get something a little bit lighter, a little bit of vinegar base. None of our rubs have sugar in them, which is something different for Mississippi. Seems like everybody puts a lot of brown sugar and other kinds of sugar on their rubs, and I figure if the meat's good, you work the sides and pay attention to the sides, it makes a better rounded meal or experience than just hey, I went and ate a bunch of smoked meat and it was great. But I enjoy that portion of it, but I do enjoy like a couple of places like the old school barbecue in Texas that I went to did the old school style, like potato salad, super heavy, slaw, super heavy. But the meats were all great, so you could tell like they almost bought their sides to serve with their meat that they spent all that time smoking. Where I really wanted to focus on the complete experience and the complete meal, so you could get like the corn salad that we do. It's all fresh corn off the cob, even in the wintertime. It's just so we go through the process of taking corn off the cob, not using kernels or something like that, just to kind of continue with what I did fine dining wise, to try to use the best ingredients I possibly could all the time.
One of the issues with barbecue is we run out.
Yeah.
One of those things where you show up at noon and we're already out of brisket. How much of a problem is that for you?
It was in the beginning, just because I didn't realize how much we were going to sell. But now we're doing about 40 briskets a week, and I use jumbos, so they start off at about 18 pounds. Been using Greater Omaha beef since we started, and it's I do run out, but I try to make it closer to 7 or 8 o'clock at night. And I like to try to make it to the end, and I also like to have at least one brisket left over so I can have sandwiches for the next day.
So what I'm asking is, I'm going to be in Jackson on Saturday. If I show up at Sacred Ground around 1 or so, I'm going to be good and get the whole menu?
You get the whole menu.
That's
guaranteed.
You're probably going to see me on Saturday.
I'll be there.
I'll just go
and
ahead.
I'll be there on Saturday. So
hey, Dad, I might meet you there.
Brother, let's
do it. To do this.
Let's do this. I'm in. I'm in.
It's my happy place right this second. So I really enjoy it.
I'll go ahead and be honest with you, sir. It's good. Just looking at the menu, it looks like my kind of happy place too.
It is.
It's top to bottom.
Yeah.
So.
Someone's told me one day is like either when you get to be a certain age, you get to be about 50, you don't know how to smoke meat or play golf. And I'm 6'5", so I suck at golf.
I was told it was either a guy gets into smoking meat or reading about war.
Yeah.
And I chose smoking meats.
Yeah.
What was my choice on that?
But I just really enjoy it. Like I said, I've enjoyed the art and the finesse of trying to learn it, and I just try to make it the best we can make it.
Well, we have no choice but to go to a break here. We're hard timed. When we come back, we'll keep talking barbecue, but also
we'll hit these other restaurants. They got some good choices.
New endeavors, and then some stuff that's been a staple in the community for a little while. We'll talk about all that, your background, also Michelin as well. We got to talk about that. We'll do all that when we come back. Sports Talk Mississippi. Derek Emerson joining us as part of our partnership with Visit Jackson, highlighting it's underrated, but hopefully not after this, food scene right here in our capital city. Sports Talk Mississippi. We'll be right back.
From the Sea Group. If it's sports in Mississippi, you'll hear about it here. Sports Talk Mississippi.
You like this show, huh?
Yeah! Super Talk Mississippi.
Welcome back in Sports Talk Mississippi. Still in the Farm Bureau guest line. Check out favorites.com and go with the home team, Mississippi Farm Bureau. Hey, Dad, before we move to...
we keep doing these interviews at this time of day, and I'm always hungry. This is the hungriest one. I'm looking at this Sacred Ground menu, and I'm just like...
been staring at it.
What am I supposed to do for the next... I got to work till 7. What am I supposed to do?
We've got more to get to. Is there any other barbecue-related stuff that... We did get asked, by the way, your tips... First-timer on a brisket, what are the things that they have to do to at least get it as good as they can for a first-timer?
Pray was the first thing.
For a first-timer, get ready to throw it away. Make sure you wrap, after the stall, around 175. I would let it rest as long as you possibly can in a cooler with maybe a towel around it. The longer the rest, the better your brisket. And maybe pull a few degrees early. And maybe pull it like 202 instead of 205 if you're going to let it rest for a decent amount of time. If not, I think you might be. But, don't be scared to wrap it a little later if you want to.
All right, anything else barbecue related, Hadad?
No, I think we're good. Let's talk about tacos now because
Yeah.
we were getting on the setup for this, and I was looking over your resume, and I was like, all right, I haven't heard of this place, Masa Mesa. Let me have a look at it. And this is a really exciting menu. I love tacos. I love unique tacos, burgers, some great looking appetizers. And I see that tri-tip's on there as well.
It is.
Yeah. Is that a staple of the Derek? If I go to a Derek Emerson restaurant, am I just going to find tri-tip?
If you go to Sacred Ground or Masa Mesa, you will.
Okay.
So Masa Mesa was kind of born from barbecue. So instead of doing traditionally like with tacos and stuff, a lot of people just braise the meat. We smoke it to about 170, and then we'll put it in the braising liquid for the other part of the cook. So until it's shreddable. So it's married. It's a Sacred Ground that kind of adds a little bit of braising and a little bit of traditional cooking to it.
Yeah.
And so, the tri-tip is on that. That is not braised. It is just sliced and seared at that point. But it is smoked the same way. And to me, I don't know. There's Jackson and Mississippi in general has a ton of Mexican restaurants. I didn't want to do a Mexican restaurant. I wanted to do a fun taco place. Yeah. And so, and we make all our own corn. We make all the corn tortillas ourselves. We're about to put some hard tacos on the menu, which we're working with right now. And so we'll take the tortillas that we make and fry them. But I just, like the banh mi taco and to me, the coconut fried shrimp taco are some of my favorites. I love the brisket melt as well. It's kind of a base on, it's not necessarily birria, but we use some of the birria liquid in the meat when we braise it, and then we just shred it. But I want it to be more like a melt, not necessarily like a birria taco.
The other one that struck me is the beef cheek, and I've cooked those once, and that's a process there. That is, you talk about needing a long time to do brisket. Cheeks is almost as long, if not longer.
It is, and you have to, the cleaning of the cheeks. Yeah, I mean, tough. I'm a kind of a fanatic about it. I want the skin off both sides. A lot of people only clean the top skin and or the outside skin. I like to take the silver skin off the inside as well, just to make a little bit extra effort. And the slaw that we serve that with is kind of like a pickled cabbage. So again, to me, it adds to the fat of the cheek. It's not gonna make it super heavy, but the brightness of the vinegar with the fat of the cheek to me goes really well together. And so, Masa's, I love being there. It's, I love the taste and the smell of fresh masa. We get it from a company out of Mexico, Macienda, or we started in Mexico. I'm sure they're in Texas or California now. But they ship it to us. And, I just, the flavor of a fresh made corn tortilla is something that I grew up with. Growing up, I grew up in California, and so I call it kind of California-style tacos, just kind of fun, playful, and not necessarily Mexican restaurant-style tacos.
You grew up in California. What brought you here?
Torture, by the way.
I came here one summer to stay with my grandparents and never left. I loved it.
See, there's something about this place just hooks you when you get here. I grew up in South Carolina, and I'm here now forever. I'm curious about the diversity of your restaurants because – maybe this is just a completely uninformed take, but it sounds like when you have a chef, a high-level chef, they kind of do one thing or one style of thing. You've got Kate, which is outstanding, by the way.
Heavy on the seafood.
Yeah, and you've got barbecue, as we mentioned. Now you're doing tacos. You've got a new cocktail bar.
Lefty, and then we have the provision store that we actually do some of those items at the store as well. So we'll do some barbecue pieces. We'll vacuum pack them and bring them to the store. We'll do the tri-tip at the store. You can just take it home and heat it up. So some of those items that I do at other restaurants actually end up at the store that you can actually buy and take home cold as well.
Why is it? Why are you able to, and why have you chosen to go so many different directions with what you're a part of?
I think I did fine dining for 33 years of my career. And didn't realize how burnout I was until I started doing barbecue and really cooking something different. Got me really back into cooking again, and so I started playing with other items. And I just felt like, I felt like the taco and the burger thing. So just kind of played off what we do at barbecue. So all the burgers and stuff that we make at barbecue are all prime brisket burgers. So we grind it all the trim from the brisket goes into the smash burgers there. And at Masa Mesa, we use a short rib brisket blend for all of our burgers. So it's not necessarily a regular burger either. So I kind of like, I don't know, I like to just step it up a hair and just to kind of, do what I can. I enjoy doing things, and I enjoy keeping myself busy. And I didn't realize how burnout I was just cooking fine dining. And I really enjoyed doing different things. And so that's kind of how I ended up doing the others.
So what's next then? What's the concept that you're thinking about in the future that you haven't gotten to yet?
I don't know. It's going to definitely involve smoked meats, though, because I really that part of the barbecue and of masa I really, really enjoy. It's you can. A lot of people do smoke meats. A lot of people put too much smoke on meats, and they can get kind of bitter. And so it's like I said, something that changes on a daily basis depending on what wood you're using and the weather. It's kind of fun to play with, and it's got a different part of challenging. It's different challenges that I'm used to. Like I said, when you can go to a stove and just turn the eye on and your heat's high, it's there for you. But like when you're doing smoked meat and things like that, it's not necessarily, it doesn't just work out like that. If the wind is blowing in from a certain direction one day and is blowing through your pit, you're like, oh damn, I got to close the doors more, close the damper down, or else your fire's out of control. So it's just kind of, I love the challenge of doing things like that.
We get a question from a listener on the text line. Do you offer or have a cookbook?
I don't.
Have you ever thought about it?
I have, but I have to write things down at that point. And I've actually started now that I've done when I was at the other places, Kate and Local 463, I'd kind of some of those dishes repeat those restaurants. So and at Walker's, but it was I really now that I didn't really write a bunch of those recipes down. I have over time, but now with the barbecue and with masa, I've been really trying to write things down to try to get things together to try to figure out if I ever want to do that. At least have the recipes in place and tested.
So we've asked every chef that's come on with us thus far, so we'll ask you. It's got to be tougher for you to find a restaurant that you don't work at because they're just all over this town. But when you go out to eat and you don't want to go to your restaurants, where are you going in Jackson?
So my buddy Lou, who has Lou's Full Serve, was actually my first chef at Local 463 when we were out in Madison. I think he does a really bang-up job. He has a great burger on the menu. A chef that I used to be that worked with me at Walker's for 10 years is about to open a restaurant in Jackson, Josette, Michael Greenhill. And that's going to be really great because he's going to do things that I really like to eat, like sweetbreads and some other stuff like that. It's going to be a little bit different of a kind of little different menu, and I think he'll really he'll set. I think he'll be a new the new fine dining guy in Jackson for a little while.
Why is the Jackson food scene so good, by the way? You grew up in California. I tell people this. I'm not from here. Yeah. Jackson, for a small city, has an unbelievable food scene. Why is that?
It really does. I mean, because we have a lot of independently owned restaurants, a lot of family-owned restaurants. And if you think back over, the restaurants that have been here for a long time, I mean, Nick's was family-owned. The Mayflower was family-owned. Chrishelle's was family-owned. So all the big restaurants that have ever come through Jackson and stayed for a long time were always individually owned. And I think that I know that the people in Jackson support the local restaurants more than anything else. And I think they appreciate what they have with the diversity. I mean, you have, like Alex Eaton does Aplos, family-owned. You have all these other, Will Puckett who does Tuk Tuk Boom, family-owned. All our restaurants are family-owned, and all the good restaurants, Hamill's is family-owned and has been around for a long time. So, a lot of the places that people do support and that are really good and that I think are really solid and do a good job are all family-owned restaurants. And we're lucky in that way with the city that the size that we have that most of them are family-owned. The good ones, anyway.
You're going to see me on Saturday, Derek. That's all I'm just saying.
Let me know when you're there. I'll be there all day.
I'm going to ask for you specifically.
Please do.
And we'll put it together. Man, This has been a fun conversation about one of my topics that outside of sports, meat is probably my second favorite thing. So I was glad to have you on, Derek Emerson. Man,
we do chicken wings too. So we do chicken wings at Sacred Ground, and we've started doing a half chicken. I'll do
just twist my arm here is all you got to do. Just twist it.
Well, let me know. We'll give you some, which will feed you well.
Sounds good to me. I'll see you Saturday. Derek Emerson here on the Farm Bureau guest line. Check out favorite.
And what we're going to do right here is go back.
And now back to the sports. This is Sports Talk Mississippi.
So let's get rolling
on Super Talk Mississippi.
Great stuff with restaurateur Derek Emerson. Didn't get a chance to ask him about Michelin. The Sacred Ground is recognized now in the Michelin Guide.
It's going to be recognized in the Hadad Guide very soon.
But these interviews are all part of our partnership with Visit Jackson. The food scene in our great capital city is, if you're not familiar with it, you need to get familiar with it. It is truly outstanding. We've heard now from 4, in different styles too, right? 4 different chefs / owners. And it's worth your time. If you're anywhere near here, if you got a soccer tournament or something coming up, these places are I mean, I've eaten at Kate. If I want something super nice, that's where I go. It's outstanding. So we stand by these recommendations, if you will. So really good stuff there from him, and really thankful for his time. And I hate to tell you, hey, Dad, I don't know which hat I'm going to leave you, but I'm going to take my pick first. Because I've got some Masa Mesa hats in here, and they're too cool for you. Sorry.
Well, fine. Be that way.
We got this on the text line, by the way. So, joking, of course, there's been this viral thing where a Brazilian psychic has said that aliens are coming to the... Is that in Philly? No, that's where France is. What stadium is that game being played in, the Brazil game tonight?
They're in Miami.
They're in Miami. Yeah, Scotland and Brazil, Miami, whatever, has said that aliens are coming to abduct the players off the field and some fans in the stands tonight. We got this. Oh, no, our 2-time Northwest Community College national champion soccer coach James Beatty is at that game tonight.
Yes, he is.
So not going to be a 3-time winner, just a 2-time winner because he's going up with the aliens. We need to get him on to talk about his experience tonight. You know, what did they look like? How tall were they? What was the ship like? You know,
we have a remote at Northwest. I think it's next month. It's soon. So Coach Beatty is always kind enough to join us. So we will definitely have him on to talk about the World Cup experience, assuming he hasn't been picked up by the aliens.
There's been this push. I was telling Hadad about this during the break for Americans to Americanize the way we support our national team. Because the American Outlaws, they've done great things in support of the United States national team, but they try to Europeize stuff.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, they've got the scarves, and they do the European chants and the songs and all that stuff, and it just kind of feels like they're trying to be something that they're not. We have an amazing football culture in this country. The tailgating, the pregame shows. Actual football. Yeah. You know, the good one. The tailgating, the pregame shows, the bands, the marching bands, the flyovers, all that stuff that we do. There's been this push to, hey, guys, all that stuff's really, really fun. And we need to do that with soccer. Stop trying to be England. We're not England. We're the United States. Make it about the United States. Tim Ream was on Pardon My Take. And he is our veteran. He's almost 40, playing center back for the United States. And they have these hydration breaks, which are essentially creating quarters. They're halfway through each half, so they've created quarters. And one of the guys from Pardon My Take was like, hey, have you guys thought about holding up fours like it's the fourth quarter when you're coming out of the hydration break?
I love this idea.
And Tim Ream was like, actually, that's a great idea. I'm going to tell the guys when we're done here. Could you imagine a whole stadium with the fours up and you have like some like Mo Bamba or something playing before the fourth quarter of a soccer game? I'm all in. I want that. I want to feel like I'm at a football game when I'm at a football game.
I don't mind that. I don't mind the idea of us throwing up the four. I don't mind that. That's good. That works for me.
Me too. Also, I saw a video where somebody edited in fight songs after goals, like bands playing fight songs. Oh, it was awesome. It's like, okay, we need this now. Whatever stadium we're playing in, find, like, they're in San Francisco.
The University of Miami's band. Well, yeah, okay, yeah, I have Miami on the brain. But yes.
Get USC's marching band.
No. You're in San Francisco, right? Get Stanford's
Yeah, but there's
band.
like 50 members. I mean, I want power.
Okay.
And give me, when they play Tusk, bum, 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 yeah. After we score a goal?
Why don't we? I think we should just get LSU's band, get the Golden Band from Tigerland, and let the band play neck at every possible instance. That American, you know what? Yeah.
I mean, seriously, could you imagine what the sonic boom of the South would do to a soccer environment,
dude?
Oh, my gosh.
That would be illegal. Like the European brain, as much as they love their chants and everything, if we brought the sonic boom out there and the whole game they were there, and oh my God, it'd be over. This might be the best. Never mind getting the best athletes. Just send the sonic boom. They'll handle it. We'll win the World Cup in no time.
Yeah, we would. Hour one in the books. When we come back, recruiting. You had a snip, snap situation. You had a shutting down of a recruitment. The next day, a flip. Later that day, a flip back.
Give me your idea how hard it is to do these graphics.
And then yet another commitment as well. And so obviously the good for Ole Miss. And then the flip side, a State fan friend of mine today was ranting about the fact that Mississippi State's not even making the graphics for these guys. So what gives and how do they recover from that? We'll talk about that after the news. Sports Talk Mississippi. Stick with us.
Communication system is a go.
This is Sports Talk Mississippi, right here on Super Talk Mississippi.
Exactly.
Welcome back to Sports Talk Mississippi. Brian Hadad, Michael Borkey here with you on a Wednesday. We're in the Pearl River Resort Studios. Join the show on the C Spire text line, 601-879-4395. The weekend is halfway here. We're halfway to that point. And that's the point where you're going to have to think about, hey, I got to spend some time today out in the yard. I got to get this grass mowed. Are you mowing the grass? Are you working on your yard? Or is it working you? If that's the answer, then you need to go see our friends at Ag Up. If you've got the big job, they've got the big tractor for you. The John Deere compact tractors, 1 through 4 series models right now, 0% financing at Ag Up. So it doesn't matter what kind of landowner you are, you've been doing it a long time, or if this is the first go-round, Ag Up's team knows how to help you find the right machine for your property, and more importantly right now, for your budget. Stop by your local Ag Up equipment location. There's 15 of them, so you've got a local one. Or you can just visit agup.com. Ag Up Equipment and John Deere, built for what's next. Restrictions apply. See dealer for details. We've got 100 teams in 100 days coming up. We've got a top 5 that's maybe the most subjective top 5 we've ever done.
Yep.
Plus more.
That was the goal.
That's what's up on Sports Talk Mississippi.
Yesterday, we talked about a recruiting situation unfolding involving a player that was committed to Ole Miss. 2 days ago, he announced that he was completely shutting down his recruitment. Ben Jarvis Shoemaker is his name. He's from Ackerman. And shut down his recruitment. The next day, flips his commitment to Colorado. That was yesterday. After the show, he flipped back to Ole Miss. He released a statement. Don't have to read it. It was essentially apologizing and stuff like that. He has flipped back to Ole Miss. And so the 4-star defensive lineman is back in the recruiting class for Ole Miss. Also, yesterday, as we talked about Mitchell Turner from Louisville, he committed to Ole Miss, a 4-star defensive lineman. So that's the number 3 and the number 2 player in the state of Mississippi. And we'll stop there for a second. I mean, hilarity of the situation aside, shutting down a recruitment, flipping, and then flipping back, snip, snap, snip, snap. There's 2 things that I think are worth talking about with this.
Okay.
Aside from the caveat that we always give when we talk about recruiting, it is important. especially on the lines of scrimmage. It is the portal era. It's also not yet December. Things change often in recruiting. It is what it is. Getting bent out of shape or super jacked up about one single player is probably a mistake. If you look at the class as a whole, that's probably where you need to be when it comes to recruiting. Colorado, I've talked to a couple people, we'll call them industry people. Colorado is throwing around offers that are so big and so irresponsibly and irrationally large that it doesn't feel real. That is something that we kind of hinted at yesterday. I talked about it on the podcast last night. And again, I talked to multiple people today that are like, Colorado's kind of doing some stuff in recruiting that make you raise your eyebrows. Put it that way. It's like, I don't know about this. This doesn't sound right. And so that would explain why players across the country are doing crazy things when it comes to Colorado, because if you're getting an offer that, it's like, wait a minute, none of these other schools have given me, half of this. And yeah, sure, I will absolutely take your offer. And then suddenly you start asking for details and there are none. It is seemingly kind of an unserious operation compared to SEC schools. So that can lure, decision-making and knee-jerk decision-making. Mm-hmm. This is not what the next thing. So that's number one. Number two, this is not an indictment on a teenager's character. What I'm about to say does not mean he's a bad kid, because I'm sure he's a wonderful young man. I made inconsistent decisions when I was a teenager and stuff. You forgive the teenager. What you hope happens after something like that is whether he learned or people close to him have gotten to him to say, hey, that shutting down recruitment, flipping back, that is a red flag. That raises a red flag.
Mm-hmm. No doubt.
There's no doubt about it. That is a red flag thing. Don't do that anymore. You can't let that be the narrative about you, is that you are constantly doing this kind of stuff, especially in the portal era. You're going to have, Charles Huff talked about it on this show. I got guys that I don't trust that are going to stay here, so why would I put them in games?
Yeah.
Why would I put them in blowout games when I don't think they're going to be with me after this year? Why would I develop them when I don't trust that they're going to be on my team next year? You create that kind of narrative around you if you keep doing stuff like this. So hopefully for the young man and people around him, it's kind of a learning experience. Hey, don't do that anymore. You don't have to make a decision. You don't have to shut down your recruitment right now. It's June, but if you're going to, actually do it, because it's red flag raising. Is that fair?
Very fair. Very fair, I think. I think that we talked about it yesterday. Like, one flip, I think everybody understands, right? Because you never know the circumstances. Assistant coaches get fired, or a player that you think is leaving decides to come back, or they hit somebody in the portal and they think that's playing my position and my road got a little hard. One flip is fine. But when you get a guy who flips 2-3 times, when you get guys flipping back and forth, I keep going back. Remember Rashad Amos? Remember Rashad Amos, the running back who was committed. He I think his line was like 6 or 7 schools. At one point he was committed to State, and then he committed to Colorado, and then he committed to Ole Miss, and he ended up signing with Ole Miss. What did he do at Ole Miss?
Nothing.
Bugger all is what the English would say.
And then went to Georgia State.
Then went to Georgia State and did nothing. So, like, I understand that there's a lot of flip-flop. And part of that is on us as fans, as we've glamorized the flip. We got Lane Kiffin wearing Merry Flipmas sweatshirts a few years ago. We've made it cool to flip and do those kind of things. That's on us.
The recruiting services, my gosh.
Flip alert, and because it draws in eyeballs. I get it, but when you get a guy like, right now, if you said, Brian, put your money on whether or not this kid is ever any good, I would probably put my money on no, because anybody who is doing stuff like this, I don't know how mentally tough they really are.
Yeah, and
whether that's fair or unfair, that's the way a lot of people are going to look at this.
Yeah, so you got to, You got to get away from that, and so hopefully he does. And then today, Antonio Berry, the offensive tackle from Tupelo, listed at 6'5", 300, the 4-star, the number 4 player in the state of Mississippi, committed to Ole Miss today. So that is 2 blue-chip prospects from the state of Mississippi on the line of scrimmage, 1 defensive line, 1 offensive line, committed to Ole Miss this week. And then obviously you had the snip-snaps thing, so you want to call it a third. You can if you want. There's one more, the number 1 player in the state, Caden Moss, depending on your service anyway. He's from Jackson Academy. I know that there was a Kentucky reporter that said that he's going to commit to Kentucky. There's some conflicting stuff there. I don't know. I have no idea what he's going to do. I'm not going to pretend like I know either. But we'll see. But what has happened right now, so here's the Ole Miss angle, is Antonio Berry is the 12th blue chip commitment in Ole Miss's recruiting class. Blue chip are 4 or 5-star players. It's the 12th one. They have not had more than 10 in a recruiting class. And they only did that once since 2016. So they have more blue chip commits in this class than they have any year since 2016, and they only reached double digits one time since then. So the job that they are doing in acquiring blue chip talent and recruiting, especially on the lines of scrimmage, is super important. And yes, it's the portal era, players leave, stuff like that. But as we've learned, especially in the last couple of cycles, there are not many available guys on the line of scrimmage in the transfer portal. Not great ones anyway. Seaton was out there, and he was a big money guy. But State and Ole Miss were both desperate for offensive tackles. Of the guys that they tried to get, how many of them were like, oh, that guy's a starter at his previous school, plug-and-play starter right here, no questions asked, that guy's going to be a stud. Those don't exist in the transfer portal, really. It's a highly competitive position, both offensive and defensive line. But offensive line especially, a super highly competitive position. That position group is the one that has the least amount of transfers.
Yeah. Well, this is...
And if they're in your backyard, you got to get them.
A recruiting class like this is the sum of 2 things. One, a deep commitment to NIL, which we all know that Ole Miss has. And, when you win double-digit games 4 out of the last 5 years, eventually, this is how those kind of teams recruit. Mm-hmm. All right? Well, Alabama and Georgia and LSU and Ohio State, teams that win at the clip that Ole Miss has been winning at over the last 5 years, this is what you recruit like. So it would be a huge red flag if they weren't recruiting well. So the fact that they're doing this, what's interesting to me is, and I'm sure we're going to talk about it, is Tupelo, Louisville, Ackerman. Those are Mississippi State areas usually. Tupelo maybe not so much, that's more split, but Louisville and Ackerman, you're 30 minutes or less to Starkville. And Ole Miss has gone in there and gotten blue-chip players out of them. That's a good thing for Ole Miss, and it's an indictment of Mississippi State.
We'll continue this when we come back.
And the
Sports Talk Mississippi.
Do you ever get so excited that you just can't wait?
Yes! Sports Talk Mississippi, covering your Mississippi teams.
I've been waiting my whole life for this.
Don't touch that dial!
Here on Super Talk Mississippi.
Welcome back, Sports Talk Mississippi. Pretty, short, sweet, to the point here. So if State and Ole Miss show up to your house and want you to play football, why would you pick State over Ole Miss right now? More money is the only thing State can offer a player right now today. And, I mean, what's such a positive for Ole Miss is that there has been a coaching change. There's a coaching change. And yet the players are still buying into the new head coach, in part because he's been there. He's built the relationship. It's not like he's a new coach. He's got a new title, but especially the defensive guys have known Pete Golding for years now. So that helps in that regard. I see a lot of why can't State get these guys when they have the 2 highest paid NFL defensive linemen in their history? And I understand what you're saying, and I would use that in recruiting. The current recruits were younger than my son when Chris Jones played at Mississippi State. That's not going to work in an era where history matters as little as it has ever mattered.
You're right about that, but how old were those guys when Chris Jones was the most dominant defensive player in the NFL? And
12?
So the time when you start having heroes in football, is that what you're trying to tell me? Yes.
It's not.
It should be a positive for Mississippi State, and it probably is to some extent. They're like, hey, but at the same time, the coaches who did all that aren't there anymore.
That was coaches ago.
Yeah. So there's that. And when this texter says all they can offer is more money, then offer it. Offer them more money. That's what the money's for. That's the problem. Mississippi State right now is there's something broken in State's high school recruiting right now. And I know a lot of people say, well, they put all their focus on the portal. Okay. Their portal class wasn't top 10. So where is that focus going? I just don't look at it. Mississippi State, I understand it was a different time in college football, and we're only talking about 12 years ago. But Mississippi State has always been a program that built itself up by being strong on the line of scrimmage with Mississippi kids. And we saw a tweet yesterday from Sam Sklar at the Clarion Ledger. Mississippi State has not signed a 4-star defensive lineman since 2022. Mississippi State has not done that. The school that brought you Fletcher Cox and Chris Jones and Jeff Simmons and Montez Sweat and all those guys hasn't been able to get one of these elite defensive linemen. They've missed some evaluations. They told William Eccles they wanted to make him an offensive lineman. Now he's going to be a first-round pick.
Wait, what?
What?
No.
What?
They told Will Eccles that he's going to play offensive line?
They recruited Will Eccles as an offensive lineman. Yeah.
Ooh.
That was a miss. And then you had guys like Cam Franklin where you would say, well, the State's not even in it. Why? Why is Mississippi State not in it for a top defensive lineman? And this is not, you can think about when Franklin signed, this was not 2-10 Mississippi State recruiting him. This was, coming off of a 9-win season, Mississippi State recruiting him. And they didn't have a chance to get him. So Mississippi State's high school recruiting has just suffered basically since Joe Moorhead left. And I don't know why that is, and I don't see anything happening over in the Seal building to change it. And so right now you've got, of the top 10 players in the state of Mississippi that are committed wherever, only one is committed to Mississippi State, and he's number 10. You're going to miss out on all of these guys. And these are guys like I said, Ackerman is just down the road. Louisville is just down the road. Tupelo is a place where Mississippi State has gotten a ton of players from in the past. You've got the linebacker Frederick Ford from Greenwood. Greenwood is a place where Mississippi State has dominated for years getting recruits. And they're not going to get any of these guys. Now, under Lebby, State has done a good job the past couple of years of getting into the game late with some players. They flipped Braylon Womack. They flipped Micah Nickerson later in the process last year. Maybe that'll be the case with some of these guys this year, assuming Lebby is still the coach, assuming that State has a good enough season that Lebby can continue at Mississippi State. But State's high school recruiting leaves a lot to be desired. And I think if you look at the teams that played in the playoff last year, especially on the defensive line, those schools are playing guys they recruited, not guys that they brought in from the transfer portal. Yeah. Ole Miss last year, those were guys that they recruited for the most part. So I don't know what State needs to do there, but they got to do something.
Somebody says, how is the recruiting broken when they got Braylon Womack? Because one player does not make it. It's kind of an outlier at this point.
Yeah.
One player does not a recruiting class make.
Right.
It's a great pickup. He's going to be a great player. Super talented. 5-star for a reason. I watched every one of his games his senior year.
Mm-hmm.
It's especially the lines of scrimmage too. That's the biggest issue of it all. Is this state has produced blue chip guys up front, and as we said previously, offensive linemen are the least likely players to transfer. It is hard to build an offensive line through the portal. I think LSU's going to run that. That's going to be LSU's biggest problem this year. I don't even think it's going to be Leavitt. I don't think it's going to be the receivers. I don't think it's going to be the running backs. they're going to be fine there. And that offense, I mean, the tight end, they have one of the best tight ends in America. Like, they've got talent. Up front, they're going to have a lot of issues. Because you can't just piece 5 portal guys on your offensive line, one of them elite, but that's not going to work as well as you hope it would. That's not going to work as well as rebuilding a wide receiver room. You can do that easily in the transfer portal. Offensive line's not going to work.
Somebody here on the text line. It's called NIL. State cannot compete. It's just a fact. That's incorrect. State didn't get Jordan Seaton to visit them last year because he wanted to hit the Little Dewey up. All right? They have the money. But their coaches just can't seal the deal. Now, Seaton's a little different because he had offers from everybody, and my guess is even as high as State was willing to go, LSU was willing to go a little higher. But that's an extreme example. State has plenty of NIL money, especially for high school kids. They could be in the game with these guys. That's not the problem. The problem is that I just don't think the staff are good recruiters. And at the end of the day, and I've said this many times before, it's not Amazon. You can't just click defensive lineman and one pops into your cart. You got to recruit these guys, and I just don't think State's doing a good enough job in that spot.
Somebody says a 6 to 7 win State team can flip the problem quickly.
A 6-win Mississippi State team can't flip anything. 7 maybe,
but that's not flipping the problem.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah. Especially if Ole Miss does what you expect them to do this year and win 9 or 10 games. What problem have you flipped? You're like, oh, well, State looks like they've got a little momentum, but Ole Miss is keeping their momentum. So I don't think that flips anything.
This is going to sound flippant. They're not even making the Final Four of in-state guys. How is that not? I don't think you can just blame Jeff Lebby for that.
Yeah, you can't. There's just a lot. There's just a lot of different issues with Mississippi State, and it's just it starts with Lebby.
It does start with he's the head coach.
Starts with Lebby. Starts with the decision to bring Hutzler back for a second season. You know, when you look back at that decision now, I know Lebby defended it, and for the first 5 weeks of the season, it looked like maybe it was the correct idea. It ended up not being. And in hindsight, it's like, yeah, how on earth do you bring back a guy who had a defense that was that bad? Should have just cut ties, but didn't. You know, when you look at his first staff, he didn't bring in any experienced elite recruiters, which is what he needed more than anything else. He just brought in all these kind of mismatch of guys. Now some of them have panned out. Anthony Tucker's been great for Mississippi State, good recruiter. The blue chip guys State's gotten these last couple of classes have been running backs. J.J. Hill, Cooper Crosby. They've got 2 great running backs committed right now. But by and large, they just haven't. It just hasn't clicked, and it starts with Lebby. It starts with the fact that State hasn't won any games. And they just don't have any juice on the recruiting trail right now.
Somebody says State's paying a kicker $95K, grossly misuse of funds. I'm here to tell you, buddy. For a quality kicker, this is going to blow your mind.
That's a low.
That's not that much.
Good deal. You're getting a good deal if you've got a good kicker. It's not like 95K.
Ole Miss's kicker is making more than that.
It's not like 95K is a huge chunk of State's NIL budget.
It better not be.
It's not.
It better not be.
It's not.
Somebody says State is in zero position to overpay for high school players. They need to focus on the portal. When they start winning, then yes, high school will be more of a priority. But as Hadad said earlier, number 40 portal class on 24/7.
Yeah.
3 4-star portal players in a class of 27.
Yeah. That's 2 years in a row.
Yeah, the portal rankings, the player rankings are kind of off. I don't understand why they do it.
I'm willing to give some evaluation credit. This is the same group that found Brennan Thompson and Anthony Evans and a few other guys last year. But when you say that they shouldn't focus on high school recruiting, I disagree with that. You've got to have a good base, especially in State on the line of scrimmage. You can't let these guys get away like State's doing.
601-879-4395, the C Spire text line. We'll be back.
From theSeabrook.com.
I listen to it at work.
Sports Talk Mississippi. Sports Talk Mississippi. On SuperTalk Mississippi.
Did you get that memo?
Yes, sir.
Welcome back, Sports Talk Mississippi. Michael Borkey, Brian Hadad with you. A lot of your messages have come in on the text line. We got this one. State has got to get back to workhorse mentality, 3-star guys that turn into NFL stars. You want to win games at the highest level?
That's not how it works anymore, because those guys don't stick around to get developed. Simple as that.
And especially because what starts this conversation is the fact that there have been blue chip linemen after blue chip linemen in Mississippi
going away from Mississippi State,
going somewhere else.
Yeah, and on top of that, it's just harder to find those underrated guys now. There's just the recruiting is so in depth nowadays that finding a Chris Jones before he blows up is incredibly difficult.
Somebody says it's also okay to admit Ole Miss has more money than State does. Ole Miss actually pays players to just take visits, like a lot of schools. Mississippi State does not.
Well, if that's the case, Mississippi State needs to start paying players to take visits. Like, guys,
Jordan Seaton was was taking money to visit other places.
I don't think Jordan Seaton came to Mississippi State just because he just enjoyed. He wanted to be in the same town as me. I don't think that. But the other side of that coin is, so you're not doing what the other successful schools are doing?
Then you need to do it.
You need to do it then.
The money conversation is so this is, I'm not even necessarily talking about John Cohen. There is some self-inflicted stuff when it comes to the money, and here's what I mean by that. We had Zach Selman on this show. You talked to him and you asked him, okay, State fan wants to help. Where do they send their money? And it's 3 different places.
Yeah.
Even if it is organized from the outside looking in, it feels disorganized.
That's one of those things where Ole Miss has had the Grove Collective since day one.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody knows, if you're an Ole Miss fan, we give to the Grove Collective. That's who, By the way, I've been wondering something. Since I joined the Grove Collective, or since Richard had me join it, Ole Miss has been to the College Football Playoff and the College World Series. Mm-hmm. The question must be asked, am I the greatest Ole Miss booster of all time?
You must be. You're the catalyst for
Keith.
Great things.
I'm just saying, But the other side of that is, for State, it started out with the Legacy Group, which is just a testament to stupidity. We're going to sign baseballs to build NIL. Then, thank God, Charlie Winfield decided I can't take this anymore and created the Bulldog Initiative. But then it went from the Bulldog Initiative to the State Excellence Fund, and now State 1878. And State fans, by and large, they don't really know what they're doing with their money. And that's been an issue. The other issue is quite simple, and I don't know why this is, but it absolutely is this way. Mississippi State fans, when it comes to wanting to give money, you get a lot of like, well, why? What am I giving to? What am I doing? Where does this go? Who's getting this? Can I have my say in this? Blah blah blah. Ole Miss fans, it's, hey, we need money. Okay, here it is. Here's our money. Go win with it. They don't ask questions for whatever reason. And as a fan, that's a great thing. If you're an athletic administrator, that's what you want to hear. It's like, yeah, just take our money. We trust you. You don't have that as much at State.
Yeah. I mean, the answer was, well, give it to all 3 funds. No thanks.
It's terrible, yeah.
You got to consolidate that as best you can. And then we got this, talking about the offensive line and building, rosters through just the portal. Somebody said, no, you don't see Indiana. Your reply, 2 teams that played for a national championship last year. Indiana had 35 offensive and defensive linemen on the roster. 9 were transfers of the 35. And 3 of those 9 were Signetti players that he recruited out of high school. Miami had 3 of the 38 offensive and defensive linemen. 3 of the 38. By the way,
all 3 of those guys were elite guys. Remember, like Damon Wilson leaving Missouri to go to Miami?
Yeah.
They got the top guys, but their depth was built through the high school recruiting.
Their offensive line was a freaking wagon.
Yeah, and they recruited most of those guys. And the Indiana thing, I think you said it there, but like they had 9 transfers, but 3 of them came from James Madison. So it's basically like they were recruited from Signetti out of high school.
They were his guys.
Those were his guys.
And that doesn't mean you don't use the portal. I mean, you have 2 ways to build talent. I think you just simply have to use them both. But I keep mentioning lines of scrimmage. because those guys they don't transfer and they're not as available. They're hard positions to get anyway. There's not that many good ones out there anyway.
4 or 5 starting caliber SEC offensive linemen is going to cost more money than anybody's willing to spend. Even LSU would balk at spending to get 5 starting caliber offensive linemen.
Yeah.
So.
Somebody says the 3 different funds is not near as big of a deal as y'all make it out to be. There are probably 30 people actually buying players for state, and they know where to put their money. The problem is getting your butt kicked on and off the field by, he says, our staff. I think this is, no, that is a state fan. Okay. Yeah. But, so, you have a small number of boosters with big money that do the big purchases. But you cannot field a competitive roster in the state of Mississippi anyway, because we don't have enough. Even Ole Miss, who has been so well funded, they got so much money, and they've been in the NIL era. They've been so all in, and I mean, just it's crazy what they've been able to do money wise because of big boosters. But it's the crowdfunding. It's the $10 a month guy because they have thousands of them that are completely and totally and fully bought in on that concept. And look, I'm from the outside looking in, but it appears, as Hadad said, and so he validates this opinion, Ole Miss fans, the average Ole Miss fan walking down the street is more in on, I need to give my money here so my team can get the players, and it's easier for them to do it. And discrediting the thousands of low-level givers is not the best way to go about this either, because their money is just as green as the big boosters' money. Mm-hmm. And if you have 100 guys giving $100 a month, that adds up really, really fast, as opposed to finding one booster that can give that money on an annual basis.
And as we've said before, State got off to a slow start.
They did.
Because John Cohen did not emphasize while Keith Carter was. And John Cohen would come on the air and talk about we've got to do things differently and this is not sustainable. And Keith Carter would come on the air and say we need our fans to give. And, you know, the fruits of that labor have been borne out. Everybody who said it was unsustainable what Ole Miss was doing has been proven wrong. Now, was it sustainable because of the giving and what the Ole Miss alums have done, or is it sustainable because they had an elite head football coach? We're going to find out the answer to that in the next couple of years. But from a state perspective right now, I mean, I talk to Mississippi State fans, and they ask that question. They're like, I don't really know where NIL is right now. I don't know where I'm supposed to give. I know especially 1878 coming along has helped in some ways, because I think people understand that that's a way to give and to get something back as a result of it. But when the State Excellence Fund was first came out, I mean, I can't tell you how many people asked me, like, do I need to give to this or that? And there was never really a good, solid answer from Mississippi State on that.
He follows it up with 100,000 people donating $5 a month is not making a dent in the scope.
That's $500,000 a month. That's $6 million a year. What that number you just said is $6 million a year.
That buys you the best quarterback in the country.
I mean, it may only get you one guy, but it's going to get you a good guy.
That gets you. Oh, that could build you an upper tier defensive line for the season. So Ole Miss in the trade. So they kept, you know, Perkins and Eccles and Franklin, but they got 3 edges out of the portal for less than that. Guys that are going to start and play on a preseason top 15 team. Mm-hmm. You don't think that's making a dent? When Blake Purchase has a sack against Louisville in game 1, you don't think that's impactful?
Yeah. One player, it can make a difference. I mean, how much different will we look at Mississippi State right now if Jordan Seaton was a Bulldog? If I knew that left tackle spot was fine to block for Kamaria Taylor's blind side, and everything else could just take, I would feel immensely different. If Mississippi State had gone out and gotten a proven pass rusher.
Yeah, and he balls up one player in one sport. What if that one player is Trinidad Chambliss?
Yeah, $6 million probably could have gotten them a better left tackle than they have, and a pass rusher. Mm-hmm. They've gotten 2 players. That would completely change the outlook of Mississippi State season.
Really good ones.
Yeah.
Ole Miss's 2 linebackers that are going to start, they both got out of the portal. Not $6 million. Wait until you see those 2 dudes play. And tell me that that's not impactful. We appreciate you being here. We just disagree. You're just saying $6 million is not impactful to winning. It's less impactful than it was 3 years ago. Sure, we'll give you that. But what would the outlook for Ole Miss's season be if we were talking about Deuce Knight, the quarterback, instead of Trinidad Chambliss? If it was Chicago,
that 7.5 I might take the under.
You get 3 Kejuan Lacey's for $6 million.
Yeah,
get 3 of them.
Yeah,
it ain't nothing. It just there's no other way around it. It ain't nothing. Sports Talk Mississippi. We'll be back.
Sports Talk Mississippi.
Yeah!
On SuperTalk Mississippi.
All aboard!
Welcome back, Sports Talk Mississippi. Ton of your messages on the text line. Can't get to all of them. Wish we could. Somebody says it's really going to be hard to keep a team together for the long run. This NIL crap is really messing college football up. I agree with Saban. It's gotten out of hand. No one can keep a team together for 2 years anymore. Some teams can.
The teams that are doing NIL correctly, who are organized, who have a good structure, who understand, the value of players, the value of where they should put their money, where, those teams are staying together for the most part. I mean, are you seeing a lot of difference makers leave the top schools? Difference makers. I'm not talking about guys who have sat on the bench. You may have a guy who's on the bench who's talented, who just hasn't gotten that opportunity, and he goes to another school and finds his way. But by and large, the good players at the good schools are staying put for the most part.
And especially now with RevShare giving everyone a minimum of like $17 million. That's everybody's floor in the SEC. And obviously there's a whole lot more added on top of that. But that is the floor for everybody. There's more available funds to keep your guys on your team.
Yeah.
You're going to love this. So the United States' coach, you know him, but for the audience, Mauricio Pochettino. He's Argentinian, right, is where he's from?
Yes, he is, yes.
Apparently, by the way, he's open to staying after the World Cup as coach. There's been some discussions about keeping him on.
You hate this, hate saying this, but I saw a tweet that said the reason that he's successful, or the reason the United States is being successful right now, is they didn't hire a soccer coach. They hired a football coach.
And he's blowing it all up and telling you, hey, your organization's bad, your structure's bad, you guys coddle players, you're not tough, all that stuff. I mean, he's lit a fire to it, and apparently the right people have really enjoyed his dressing down of the entire department, which is great.
Good.
But They're
not winning. They weren't winning until this.
No. But he said today he's been appreciating American culture lately. He's wearing fishing shirts. He's listening to Lainey Wilson, stuff like that. He said, quote, people say Americans have no healthy food. Yes, you have healthy food, but also you have the food. Chick-fil-A. It's amazing, no?
Yes. That's correct. That's correct, Poch.
Thanks, Coach. You know what else is correct? Mississippi State got a baseball commit today. So we talked a lot of bad news with recruiting. How about some good news, Hadad? A catcher is in the fold, which is interesting considering he's a good one and they already had one.
Yes. So Mississippi State lands, first off, this may be the most Ole Miss name to ever play at Mississippi State. Borkey Mapius. That's Burke hyphen Lee Mabius. So that's his name. I'm sure it's just Berkeley, but man, that's a name. coming over from Oregon. A good enough hitter. He hit 280 last year, 8 home runs. Hit almost 290, 8 home runs. But a top-notch defensive catcher. Threw out 13 of the 29 runners who's tried to steal on him and has got a reputation, and the analytics back this up, and I'm not going to go too deep into that, as an elite pitch framer. Now, State's already going to have guys throwing strikes next year. Valinkus and Stone and McPherson are strike throwers. But if you could steal a couple of more strikes a game, that's certainly worth something. Now, it does ask the question, what happens with Kevin Milewski, who has, could be going into the draft. He has another year of eligibility. If the 5-for-5 thing happens, he would have 2 years and would have a leverage year left. I thought he was playing really good at the end of the season, and I was excited about him coming back. I don't know what this means. Would they consider a position change for him? Would he might just want a DH? I don't know the answer to that. My guess is he'll see what the draft does for him, and if he likes the offer that he gets, he might just move on. State had to find couldn't take the waiting game, right? It couldn't wait for the draft, and Milewski finds out he gets somewhere he wants to go, and he's gone, and then you don't have a backup plan. So they went ahead and brought this guy in. State now with the number 2 transfer portal class, according to 64 Analytics. They have 7 top 250 players in this class thus far, and they're not done yet. They're still looking for a couple more guys, probably a couple more bullpen arms. Really good job by Brian O'Connor, though, in his second year at Mississippi State.
All right, so tell me more about this catcher battle that's shaping up. What happens here?
I don't know if there's going to be one. I don't know if Milewski will stay or go. We got to wait and see what the MLB draft brings. But if Milewski comes back, they'll have a battle, and whoever wins. And my guess is with Milewski, I don't know if he could. There have been some people say maybe he could change positions to first base. I keep replaying that scene from Moneyball in my head with Scott Hatterberg where he's like, I've only ever caught, and it's easy. Tell him, Wash. It's incredibly hard. I just keep seeing that in my head. But does Milewski maybe want a DH? State needs to replace Noah Sullivan. They got to get to have a guy in the as your DH who you could trust to hit 18 to 20 home runs, which is the pace that Milewski would have been on had he not gotten hurt in the non-conference portion of the schedule. I wouldn't mind that at all. So this is the way. It's the same way in every sport. Stack up the talent and let the chips fall where they may in the position battles. That's what State's doing from a baseball perspective.
Sports Talk Mississippi. Good pick up there from the Bulldogs. We'll get to the college football fix after the news. We're in the Pearl River Resort studio. Stick with us.
This is Sports Talk Mississippi, right here on Super Talk Mississippi.
Welcome in, Sports Talk Mississippi. Hour number 3, I'm Michael Borkey. That over there is Brian Hadad. We're really glad that you guys are here. Tomorrow, third group stage game for the United States in the World Cup. We'll talk about that a little bit. It's a meaningless game because we already know who we're playing in the knockout stage, July 1st, against Bosnia and Herzegovina. Yeah.
I don't mind the Bosnians so much, but the Herzegovinians can go straight to you-know-where.
We'll probably talk about that game a lot more than tomorrow because, again, tomorrow it's meaningless. We're already moving on to the knockout stage, won the group, all that.
Yeah.
We, though, right now don't need to waste any more time. It's just after 5 o'clock. You know what we do just after 5 o'clock. It's the College Football Fix.
The College Football Fix is driven by your Mississippi Ford dealers. Built Ford Tough. The best-selling truck in America sure is. Right now, are you looking for a new truck? Why would you waste your time? Why would you do anything but go visit your local Mississippi Ford dealers and look at the new Ford F-150s? Do it today! Thank you for your attention to this matter.
College football video game. Are you going to buy it, by the way?
I was thinking about that. I think that I am going to buy this year. I didn't buy last year. And did I ever tell you the story of why I stopped playing the first year?
You did not.
So I had my Dynasty. I'm like 10 years into it. I'm having a great time. And I just decided to, just for grins and giggles, I was like, I'm going to kick Ole Miss out of the SEC. Just do it. And I did it, and I looked at it for a second. I was like, no, this isn't right. I don't want to do this. So I tried to bring them back in, and I did, but then they weren't on my schedule. I couldn't add Ole Miss to the schedule. So State was going to not have the Egg Bowl, and I was like, all right, never mind. I screwed up, so I stopped playing it.
You had to play the Egg Bowl, huh?
And I was like, I got to have that. I got to have that at the end of the year.
Some therapy in the
there
Egg
was
Bowl.
some of that. You're not wrong.
So real quick, we talked about this earlier, the NCAA going to the 5-year eligibility thing and how there were going to be lawsuits. An Ohio judge very quickly shut down a TRO that some basketball players filed with the help of that Twitter NIL lawyer guy that's involved in all of this stuff. Didn't take very long for the judge to say, actually, no, the NCAA is well within the right to have this 5-year eligibility rule. You don't get the extra year. Sorry, somebody's got to get screwed here. It happens to be you. You will not get a TRO. Enjoy playing in Europe. He said it more eloquently than that, but that is...
As one does, yes.
But that happened. So, again, as we talked about earlier, this one seems defendable, and so far, the NCAA is 1-0 in defending the new 5-year eligibility rule. Brought up the college football video game, though. They did stadium rankings, they did overall team rankings, and now here is the top 10 quarterbacks, running backs, receivers, and tight ends in this year's game. Quarterback number 1. Have you seen this yet, Hadad?
I saw it, but I can guess who it is.
It's Dante Moore.
That's who I was going to guess.
Out of Oregon, the number 1 with a 94 overall rating. Julian Sayin is number 2.
Moore is going to be highly rated because there's some mobility. Like, Arch has just a little less mobility.
Yeah.
So.
He's a good player.
Oh, good player.
Julian Sayin at 2, I don't agree with that at all. He's not the second best quarterback in college football. I know he plays for a great team. They're going to win 1 billion games, but how many of the guys on this list could do exactly what he's doing at Ohio State, and maybe even better?
Yeah, you're right.
Number 3, Trinidad Chambliss, 93 overall, the number 3 rated quarterback in the college football video game.
So Arch 4th?
No.
No, okay. Wow.
Jaden Mayava at USC is number 4.
I can't get behind that. I can't. Good player, but I can't get behind that.
Alongside C.J. Carr at Notre Dame, both with a 92 rating. Arch Manning is the number 6 ranked quarterback in the college football video game.
I just disagree. I would have him 4th. I might have him 3rd. I flip-flop. Okay, hold on. I would have him either 2nd or 3rd because I would have Sayin behind both him and Chambliss. And like I said, I flip-flop almost daily between Manning and Chambliss.
Darian Mensah, number 7. He's
really
now at Miami.
Should have a monster season.
Sam Levitt and Noah Fafita from Arizona, both with 90 overalls, but Levitt is first.
Fafita a couple years ago were like, remember when Arizona was really good? They won 10 games. They changed quarterbacks in the middle of the year to him. And you're like, this guy's a stud. And then last year they fell off, and we'll see if he gets back.
And then number 10, John Mateer.
I mean, at the end of September, he would have been number 1 last year. He would have been right there. I think there's talent there. He's got to do it for a whole season, though.
Gunnar Stockton, he is so much better than he gets credit for.
Maybe the most disrespected player in college football. All he does is win games, not turn the ball over, score touchdowns.
He's going to win the Heisman this year.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know about that.
He might win the Heisman this year. Georgia's going 11-1, and he's going to have a monster year.
That's a bridge too far for me. I don't see that.
He's a good player. He's criminally
really
underrated, and they're going to win 11 games, and he's going to throw for 1 billion yards. And don't sleep on that dude. But that is your top 10. Top 10 wide receivers. No local flavor, although there kind of is, actually. Jeremiah Smith, number 1 from Ohio State, 99 overall.
I mean, the only reason he's 99 is because they wouldn't put anybody at 100.
They don't have 100.
If ever somebody was supposed to be 100, it would be Jeremiah Smith.
Malachi Toney from Miami at number 2, Ole Miss fans. Unfortunately, you saw that up close in person.
What a player.
Cam Coleman, the Auburn /
Texas?
Yeah, he's at Texas now, but he transferred from Auburn.
Auburn, yeah. He's at Texas. Unbelievable college football.
And I remember when that high-flying Hugh Freeze offense was going to unlock him.
Yeah, it never happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But high-level athlete for sure. Deuce Robinson from Florida State, number 4.
Outstanding receiver. Surprised he's at Florida State.
Ranked number 4, and that's also representative of the number of wins his team is going to have this year.
Oh, that's so nice. That's not nice.
KJ Duff from Rutgers, number 5. How about that?
Good player.
I've never seen him play before. Never watched him play.
I've seen some highlights. He's a good player.
Ryan Coleman-Williams from Alabama, number 6.
Yep.
Mario Craver, A&M, number 7.
It's crazy. What was it the other day that what were we looking at? And he was like down the list of players. I forget what it was, but
I do too.
He's really good.
Danny Scudero, I believe. Scudero from Colorado. He is number 8, which is also representative of the amount of losses that they're going to have
once again
this year.
Borkey's not a nice person, y'all.
So I told you earlier that Colorado is a bit of an unserious operation right now, throwing funny money around, stuff like that. They've got staff members at Colorado bragging about, online right now, you can go find them, bragging about making Ole Miss work hard to keep a player that was committed to Ole Miss. They didn't get the player, and they're like, ha, we made you work. That's how serious Colorado football is right now. Well, bragging about not getting a player.
You gotta get your wins where you can, guys.
Apparently so. Amari Thomas from Houston, number 9. Mm-hmm. And then Cooper Barkate from Miami, number 10.
Okay. So 2 of the top 10 from Miami?
Yep.
With Darian Menza. I could not get it out of my mouth there. That should be a good team. It was Miami Hurricanes.
Not surprised at the running back, considering he is a cover athlete. Kejuan Lacey, the number 1 running back in the college football video game.
The only thing I would say, and not that I disagree with it, he shouldn't have been any worse than 2. I wonder if they're taking into – I guess they're not because Hardy is 2. So I guess they're not taking into account that Hardy might miss some time in the injury and all that. But, yeah, Kejuan Lacey is easily no worse than the second best running back in college football.
Ahmad Hardy's number 2. They both have a 96 rating. Lacey just ever so slightly higher rated. Mark Fletcher from
paid to get him that high.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 100%. Almost got money to just throw around. Apparently, they're throwing around hundreds of thousands of dollars to get a player just to show up and visit. Those cheating rebel bear sharks just out here doing.
At least you admit it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know what is fun?
Winning.
What winning is fun.
Yeah,
I would recommend it.
Yeah, I'm doing all I can. Like I don't have a whole lot of control.
Mark Fletcher, great player at Miami.
Yeah, really good.
Number 3. Isaac Brown from Louisville.
Wow, Miami's
going to be good, buddy.
Number 7 quarterback, 2 top 10 receivers, and the number 3 running back. That's strong.
Be good.
Yeah.
Isaac Brown from Louisville. Ole Miss will see him in week 1. Number 4. L.J. Martin from BYU, number 5. Antoine Raymond from Rutgers, number 6. Look at Rutgers showing up on this list.
They got some talent. They should win some games this year.
Jaden Ball from Florida, really quality player.
Really good player.
At 7, Cam Cook from West Virginia at 8. Caleb Hawkins from Oklahoma State at 9. And then Nate Frazier getting a little love from Georgia at number 10.
Did you see that it was a Crane and Company TikTok? They were doing like a winner stays on kind of thing. And they were like, Bo Jackson or Caleb Hawkins. And the guy looked at the camera and was like, what? And he was like, the Ohio State Bo Jackson. He's like, oh, my God. I thought you were talking about Bo Jackson. Like, what world are we living in where we're making this comparison? Yes, Ohio State Bo Jackson is who he was talking about. I thought that was absolutely hilarious.
It's your college football fix driven by Ford. We'll be back.
Hey guys, what's happening? What the heck are you doing?
Sports Talk Mississippi on your radio and in the game. Sports Talk Mississippi.
Hey, we gotta give a shout out, by the way.
All right.
To Miss Jan at Columbus Orthopedic. Said she listens every day. This is what happened today. I called. I had to make an appointment for that. And he's like, This comes from Pete. This is Jan. How can I help you? Like, hey, I need to make an appointment with you guys. Okay, what's your name? Brian Hadad, Hadad.
No way.
I listen to y'all every day. And she told me she's a big Ole Miss fan, but she loves us. And Miss Jan, we will give you a shout out. Thank you for tuning in every day.
Does she love us or me specifically?
She loved me.
Aw.
So,
well, I love you, Jan.
She didn't have any real comment on you.
Oh.
So, that's...
Well, I guess she was talking to you.
Yeah, so. But a real sweet lady.
That's awesome.
I hope she's listening right now. I hope she got a kick out of that. Because I got a kick out of her gasping when she
That's
heard
so
my
awesome.
name. I was like, you got to be kidding me, man.
Yeah, our female listenership is a lot higher than you would think.
It's out there.
It's out there.
They're listening to us, so.
They certainly are. And you know what else they're going to listen to right now?
100 teams in 100 days.
This day is bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-S. This day is bananas.
100 teams in 100 days.
Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, go! It's the final countdown.
Team number 66 on the countdown of 100 teams in 100 days. We go to the Big 12.
Almost heaven. West Virginia.
Okay.
Blue Ridge Mountain.
Here's the situation. This song is not about West Virginia.
Older than the trees.
It's about the western part of Virginia.
Sing it with us.
Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads,
USA. No, wait, what's
WVU?
That's tomorrow.
Yeah.
West Virginia. Country roads take me home to.
Singing along to it on that one.
Better football. Rich Rodriguez enters year 2, and let's start there. Milan-Pusker Stadium.
Is that really the name of that?
Milan-Pusker Stadium on the northern border.
Guy? He's got Milan-Pusker syndrome. He's near death.
The great state of West Virginia. 60,000 on the nose is the official capacity there. Morgantown, West Virginia, that fan base is one of the most fascinating fan bases in all of college sports. They are loud, they are passionate, they like to set things on fire, and they long for the glory days of West Virginia football. Back in the early 2000s, hey, Dad, you can just start throwing names out there, and it'll bring people right back. I mean,
people love to talk about Pat White and Steve Slayton. Mm-hmm. They love to talk about Noah Devine.
Owen Schmidt,
Tavon Austin. They want to talk about these guys. You're right.
2001 to 2007 is when Rich Rod was previously at West Virginia. They played in the Big East back then. You remember the Big East Conference?
I absolutely do.
He went 3-8.
Smoking Georgia in a Sugar Bowl.
That's right. Back in 2005. But they went 3-8 and then 9-4, 8-5, 8-4, 11-1, 11-2, 10-2, and those teams were fun. They were electric. Fast offense, great players. Awesome environments, and then he got caught up. He got caught up in the desire to go to the brand. Michigan came calling. Also, Alabama came calling.
Very close to taking that. What a butterfly effect that would have been.
Don't you wish that we could go back in time and try to convince him to take that job?
I do.
Wouldn't that have been great?
I absolutely do.
But then Michigan came calling, and it just didn't work. He went 3-9, 5-7, 7-6 at Michigan. I was actually at his last game as a head coach at Michigan when he played at Ohio State. Went with some family members to go see the Horseshoe, and it was cool. And they loved Rich Rod there because, Michigan sucked while he was there. Then a year and a half later or so, he gets the Arizona job, and things went okay for him at Arizona. He won 10 games in year 3, but then scandal hit. That's what cost him his job at Arizona. it was a harassment claim from a former administrative assistant. He was fired in January of 2018. There was a 3-month internal investigation. Admitted to some of the things, but not all of the things. And the lawsuit was actually dismissed, but he still was fired from that job. He then bounced around a little bit. He went to Ole Miss 2 years later to be the offensive coordinator. Didn't really go well.
I will never, ever forget the Egg Bowl in Starkville.
But they had the blinds up, right?
No, they were not. And Brian Scott Rippey could not stop looking over there. And then I would see him look, so I would look. And then it was just an unbelievable chain of events of Rich Rod just pounding the table because John Rice Plumlee couldn't pass the ball on occasion.
It's almost like he couldn't complete the forward pass, and continuing to ask him to do something he can't do was bad strategy. But hey,
it is what it is. What do we know?
But then he went to ULM in 2021 after a volunteer year at Hawaii. Yes, that is a real thing.
I would do that.
He was the offensive coordinator there for a year, and then he got back into head coaching at Jacksonville State, and it went well. He went 9-2 in 2022, then 9-4, and another 9-4. So pretty good job there for Rich Rod at Jacksonville State. Then he goes to West Virginia. Year one left a little bit to be desired. Beat Robert Morris in the season opener, but then they went to Ohio and lost last season. They lost at Ohio last year. Beat Pitt in overtime, and then it got really ugly pretty quick. They lost to Kansas big, lost to Utah big, lost to BYU by 2 touchdowns, lost at UCF by 32 points. They lost to TCU. They did beat Houston in Colorado, but again, who didn't beat Colorado last year?
Oh.
Lost at Arizona State, and then Texas Tech beat them in the season finale by a score of 49-0. Now, he's pretty confident, though, in this year's ball club. He thinks that they have a chance to improve on last year's 4-8 record. They open with Coastal Carolina. What a blending of cultures there. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and Morgantown, West Virginia. Very different regions in terms of, like, the landscape.
Yeah.
Very similar people. Those from Myrtle Beach and those from Morgantown.
Sure.
Then they host UT Martin, and then they play Virginia in Charlotte at Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte in week 3 for some,
Every time you ask to give me one of these neutral site games, I'm just going to say why.
Why? Well, why is that not happening in Charlottesville or Morgantown?
Right.
Well, give me a break. Then they host Oklahoma before going to Iowa State. Then they host Arizona, kind of a revenge.
Oklahoma?
Oklahoma State.
Okay.
Before they go to Iowa State, and then Arizona goes to West Virginia for a bit of a revenge for Rich Rod. Sure. They host Cincinnati, go to TCU, have an off week, go to Texas Tech, host Kansas and Houston before going to Utah to end the season. Some pressure on Rich Rod. He's kind of hyping up this team.
Yeah.
And coming off of 4-8, they need to be good.
They're a program that expects to win games. There's no question about that. So, you might be surprised to find out that we're going to a brewery when we go to West Virginia. We're going to the Mountain State Brewing Company, which I'm surprised that West Virginia is called the Mountain State, but it's neither here nor there. As you can probably guess, a very comprehensive draft beer program going on here. All sorts of great draft builds, and we can build our own flights. Two Tall Tuesdays, they have 20-ounce house drafts on that day, including the Cold Trail Blonde. That's probably what I would go with. I like a blonde ale, but they have an amber, an IPA, a stout. They got the pale ale. They got some ciders. They got some shandies. They got it all. And then they got a wood-burning oven up in there. So we're talking about pizza, flatbread, wood-burning sandwiches. I'm surprised. I like the sound of it, I'll be honest with you. We've got the Boar's Nest pulled pork with apple slaw and apple cider barbecue on a brioche bun, slow roasted in the wood-fired oven. Sounds good to me. Signature sandwiches. This one caught my eye. It may surprise you. It's called the Popeye. House-made spinach artichoke dip with thick-cut bacon and sliced tomato on toasted Italian bread. It's a spinach and artichoke dip sandwich.
I'm in.
With bacon.
I'm in. Yeah, I'm in.
I'm in. I love spinach and artichoke dip. A lot of great options here. Dessert, you can get a stout float by the way. You can get a little beer float going there. Why not? Why not? So, great selection of beer, great food. If you're ever in Morgantown, stop by Mountain State Brewery and tell them that Hadad and Borkey sent you.
Sports Talk Mississippi, team number 66 on the countdown. West Virginia, take me home country roads. We'll be back in just a bit.
From theseabrook.com, let's go to the junction, in the Grove, and to the top. Don't hurt yourself. Sports Talk Mississippi on SuperTalk Mississippi.
I ain't happy. I'm feeling glad.
Welcome back, Sports Talk Mississippi. We have yet to do our top five. Now, I think this is one that we should do. We're not alternating because there's only 12 total options.
Yeah.
So, like, your five and then my five, and then we debate the merits of the two of them.
Okay.
So you go first. Your top five.
I didn't even write it down. I'm just going to go from the hip.
Okay, see, and I only have 3 football months because I didn't want to do all football months. I feel like I need to diversify a little bit.
I hear you.
So I diversified. Your top 5 months of the year.
Sure. Number 5 is September. September is the start of football. It is the start of the Premier League season. Well, I guess it technically starts in August, but you start getting into it right then. Baseball starts to heat up. You start getting into MLB right there. But mainly it's the start of the football season. It's also the end of the month. It starts cooling off just a touch. So we're going to go September 5. We're going to go December 4. December is NFL, as hot as it gets right there. That's the push for the playoffs. You got the bowl season. You've got Christmas. You get New Year's Eve. You get all the bowl games. You get NBA basketball. You've got Premier League soccer. It's great stuff. I love December. December, number 4. Number 3 is March. March is number 3. It's the third best month. You've got March Madness. You've got the college baseball getting into conference play. You're into WrestleMania season at this point. The weather is starting to, warm up a little bit. Good times. You've got St. Patrick's Day. Everybody loves St. Patrick's Day. You got a lot of good stuff going on in March. March is number 3. Number 2 is October. College football is starting to really ramp up. The weather's getting better. The leaves are turning. You get Halloween in there. That's a good candy holiday. NFL really gets cranked up at that point. Baseball playoffs start up. NBA starts up. Premier League's going on. A lot of sports stuff happening in October. That's a great month. Number 2. Number 1 is November. November is the best month of the year for a number of reasons. 1, it's the best college football month of the year. That's when the games that matter happen. You have all your rivalry games. That's a great thing. The NFL, you get into the middle of the season. Fantastic. You have my favorite holiday, which is Thanksgiving. I love Thanksgiving. It's my favorite holiday of the year. I love it above all others. And you have my birthday. My birthday is in November. November is my number 1 month of the year.
You did your birthday.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the other things help, too. I love Thanksgiving. So.
All right. I avoided football months, although my final 3 are. Number 5, you're going to think I'm crazy, the month of July. I love the month of July.
July is a terrible month.
Because you get the 4th of July.
That's all you get.
A full day celebrating America.
I celebrate America every day. That's the kind of American I am.
That is usually the month where I do the family beach trip, and that is an absolute blast. Mm-hmm. And so that's what it's related to. You also have, like, from a sports perspective, the Open Championship. I know you don't particularly care about that, but I love being outside every day. I love going to the pool. I love getting sweaty. The outdoor activities paired with 4th of July, paired with family beach trip, that is my favorite Fifth favorite month. Number 4, April. April. Weather outstanding here in the state of Mississippi.
What?
You also
That's
get
tornado season, brother.
But when it's not tornadoing,
yeah,
it's amazing.
On those 4 days.
The national championship in college basketball actually happens in April.
Yeah, that's the first day.
But the Masters.
Oh, okay.
The Masters is in
April. I thought you
April.
were going to say WrestleMania. That is WrestleMania. It's April.
The Masters is my favorite sports week of the year. Also, college baseball and conference play, too, for whatever it's worth.
This is weak
but
thus far. Mine is better than yours.
Number 3 is October. 3rd is October. College football right in the middle of the season, and then Halloween. Halloween's a fun holiday still in our house. I am going to be really sad the day that Halloween stops being fun.
Yeah.
You know, dressing up, going trick-or-treating, all that's a lot of fun. I'm going to miss that.
Yeah.
Number 2, November. November's number 2. You have
it's got the best holiday.
Rivalry, college football rivalry weekend in particular. The season is coming down to a
weather's
close.
fantastic.
The weather's good. Thanksgiving mixed in there is good.
Number
as
1.
Well. December is my favorite month of the year. December. You have college football playoff. The NFL season really winding down.
Yeah.
And then also Christmas.
Yeah.
Christmas for both the religious reason and also the Santa reasons with a young child. I just absolutely love Christmas season, watching it through the eyes of a 3, 4, 5, 6-year-old. It's impossible to beat the magic that he feels.
Yeah.
So you got great football, and then there's still the magic.
Yeah.
With Christmas, and it's my favorite month of the year.
July is psychopath.
I love July. I absolutely love July.
July is an awful month.
The 4th of July, I cannot wait for the 4th of July.
You have one sport going on. One.
Yeah,
you get the World Cup this year.
But
like most years, it's just baseball.
But beach, pool,
go to the beach in June.
Splash pad, grilling, all that. I love the month of July. I absolutely love it.
Yeah. I got to disagree. And July is not a great month.
Just spending all day in the backyard with the smoker going and like never putting a shirt on and just like
my neighbors would complain. They don't want to see me.
Having a slip and slide going and you got rock music going and you're just like living the dream, not caring about anything, getting a little sunburn. It's hard to beat that. That's the life I want to live right there. That's living free.
Mississippi has 4 seasons: cold spring, warm spring, summer, tornado. I can't disagree too much with that. What about hurricane? We do hurricane season in there, too.
There's another item for the merch store.
Hurricane season?
No, the
4 seasons,
of Mississippi.
Yeah. We have 4 seasons. We actually have 5 seasons in Mississippi. We have, as he said, cold spring, warm spring, summer, tornado, and then seasoning. We have seasoning. We season with seasonings.
Yeah, that we do.
I'll get it eventually. Borkey, you were off the reservation about July. Worst month of the year, and I was born in July.
I love it. Gosh, I love it.
July is an awful month. It's so hot.
It's an awful month if you don't know how to enjoy it.
I guess I just don't know how.
You don't. Just don't.
Like the thing, because I like to do those things. I like to go out and grill but I don't like to do it when it's 110.
See, but that's the thing. That's why you go tarp off. You have the slip and slide going in the backyard.
I'm not going tarp off.
I know. I mean,
that's not a thing that I do. You know. Yeah, nobody wants to see me sweat.
I mean, I didn't want to do all football months because the answer really is all football months. So
I didn't do all football months.
And the Masters is a trump card for me. Like it dominates my everything.
Yeah. March was my non-football.
Ooh, and when the azaleas are blooming around here, there are so many something about them. There's some magic in those bushes, man.
Marty in Portland says July is a great month in Oregon. I'm sure it is.
Oh, I bet.
I bet November isn't. I bet it's cold.
I wonder if Marty's is he a Timbers fan? He's going to the Timbers games?
Grew up in a soccer family, so probably. Marty, let us know. Are you a Timbers fan?
They tried to get in on the
Borkey is actually right. The summer months are great. The winter months, we are stuck inside. You can go outside.
So this is June college baseball postseason. But there's no holiday in June.
Yeah, June is the holidayless month.
I love the 4th of July. Yeah. There's just something about being obnoxiously American that I love.
Yeah. I like ribs. I'm going to have those on the 4th of July.
See, I want the flag. I mean, American flag shorts that I'm just wearing around.
Yes.
No shirt on.
Marty
ever.
does watch the Timbers.
I mean, a playlist that even though, gosh, they keep putting Born in the USA on these stupid 4th of July playlists, that is an anti-American song. Other than that, the playlists are awesome. Like, everything about the 4th of July just rules.
We're missing a good one, by the way. Morocco-Haiti going to the half. It's 2-2. The Haitians have scored their first ever World Cup goals, I believe.
Yeah, first ever one today.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I saw a really funny video of the celebration in Ghana, which looked like a lot of fun, and I understand the importance of, but they had a 0-0 tie, and they're in the streets celebrating. It's like, nothing happened. You're having fill the population in the streets celebrations when nothing happened.
Yeah.
But again, I'm aware of the context and how important that is and how big it is to draw and all that for them.
You get all that. But
it's still funny.
You don't get that July is an awful month.
Oh, it's so much fun. I can't wait.
If you ever complain, if I ever hear you in July go like, it's hot outside, I'm like, no.
You can acknowledge the heat.
No.
It can be hot.
This is your month. This is your month.
Can like
Get after it.
It's like saying it's snowing outside. Well, I like snow, but you can acknowledge
if it snows in any month that I listed, you let me know. If it snows in Mississippi in November, you better hold your loved ones close to you.
We've had a November snow.
When?
We've had a late November snow
I
before.
don't recall that. My birthday is in late November. I never remember a late November snow.
SuperTalk Mississippi. We'll be back.
And the sports. This is Sports Talk Mississippi. Sounds good. On Super Talk
Mississippi. You were wrong, and you can bask in your wrongness about snow in Mississippi in November. Happened apparently in 2018 and 2011.
I have no recollection of said snow.
It happened.
I mean, did it? Did it happen if I didn't get it?
I
got to get the snow for there to be snow.
I'm still mad at snow from 2 years ago.
I'm mad at snow from 1995. Like that terrible song, Informer. Awful.
2 years ago.
What does Licky Boom Boom Down even mean?
I don't know.
2 years ago what?
We had North Mississippi get an awesome snowstorm, and it stopped right about North Madison County.
Yeah.
And then South Mississippi and New Orleans and 38 gets this incredible snowstorm, and it stops right about South Hinds-Rankin County.
Yeah.
I didn't get any of it. All of you got great snow 2 years ago. Last year, this past winter, obviously a little bit different circumstances from a weather perspective.
Yeah.
But 2 years ago, awesome snows. Didn't get to see any of it. It rained a little. It was cold. That's what we got.
Well, that's how it goes sometimes.
No, it shouldn't go that way. That's wrong. New Orleans having people cross-country skiing through the French Quarter, that's not right.
Well, I mean,
we shouldn't allow that.
It happened, though.
Yeah, and that is my bad for mentioning snow to my child, yeah.
Dwight says if we want snow so bad, just move north of Highway 6. Get all the snow you want.
Build us a studio, buddy, and we'll be there.
You'll be there. I'm not moving.
You know what else happened? The NBA draft.
It did happen, yeah. It did happen. I think you got four guys at the top of that draft that can be stars. Peterson scares me, though. A lot of red flags with that guy.
Yeah,
a lot of red flags.
I mean, I think the
Grizzlies did good getting Boozer.
Probably.
He's probably the most ready to go pro in that group.
Just feels like it's totally lost its impact.
Well, it's because, I don't know.
The college players aren't known as well either.
They just aren't, yeah. I mean, Disbanta, I believe is how you pronounce it, the number one pick, 1 year, played at BYU, so how many games did the average fan of his watch? Not a lot. And now he's going to Washington where, even fewer people are going to watch. So, yeah. The top 4 teams of the draft are the Wizards, the Jazz, the Grizzlies, and the Bulls. The Bulls are the only major market in there. And
the Grizzlies are going to move to Nashville anyway.
Yeah, and
I'm kidding, Grizzlies fans.
The Bulls haven't been good. They had good teams when Derrick Rose was there before he got hurt. But, obviously since Jordan left, they haven't won a title. So there's just not a lot. There's not a lot of meat on the bone. This isn't like a few years ago where you could find teams like the Knicks were in the lottery. They had that stretch in the mid 2000s where the Lakers and the Celtics were both bad, and you had them in the lottery, and you're like, are they going to turn it around? You had some drama. The Wizards picking first, you just look at that and go, well, they'll probably be picking 4th or 5th next year. What are we talking about? But that said, those 4 guys, Disbanta, Peterson, Boozer, and Caleb Wilson, those are, I think you got 4 good players there. So, I think the main reason I think you weren't into the NBA draft last night is because the Pelicans traded away their first-round pick.
Well, it ended up working out.
I mean, I guess.
I would rather have Derek Queen than...
I guess.
It worked.
You could have had the number 1 pick in this draft as bad as the Pelicans were.
Yeah, but remember, it's the lottery, and they traded their pick to Atlanta. Atlanta got number 6, so it ended up working out. It worked out.
I guess.
Bad process, acceptable result.
Yeah. I could not have drafted Peterson, and I agree with Hadad. The Grizzlies won. Boozer is the guy who's most ready to come in. Cam Boozer and Zach Edey, good luck getting a rebound against Memphis. Good luck. Trying to get into the trees there. And then, and with Coward, they got what do you got to have these days? Good young core.
Nice.
It's not like the Spurs young core, but it is a good young core.
It's coming up on Thunder and Lightning here in a little bit.
We're going to rehash some of the stuff we've talked about here, going into a little more depth on the state and the transfer portal for baseball. Plus, we got to, we'll hash out this Mississippi State recruiting thing just a little bit more. So, some good, some bad. Take the good, you take the bad, you take them both, and there you have Thunder and Lightning.
Mostly bad. I'm kidding.
You don't get to make those jokes. You don't get to say those things. You sit there with your smug little Ole Miss attitude, and you just keep your mouth shut.
Got a cord wrapped around my leg. I don't know where it came from. I don't know what it's connected to.
What did you do?
I don't know.
It's a snare trap.
I didn't pull it, so everything. We're still on the air, right?
Sit still. Wait till the end of this until the break.
Rhino's going to come in here and be like, "What did you just do?"
Yeah.
But no, thank you for making our show a part of your day. We really appreciate you guys. As always, more Hadad coming up after the news. I'll see you tomorrow at 3. Good night.
SuperTalk Mississippi Media Production.